What up, man? It's the kid Pushmanmitch. You already know what time it is. The host of the No Fluff podcast. We back again with another episode. I got my brother, the GOAT. Any type of crib you need, any assistance you need, man, especially when it comes to real estate. Look, my brother Virgil, he
Yes,
in the
sir.
game. Let's go, brother.
Glad
Welcome
to be here.
the
Thank
podcast.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Look,
Honored and humbled to be here with you, my
Ooh,
brother.
it's about to be spicy though.
Let's do it. I'm
Everybody
ready.
been waiting for this. Look, I told people I got Virgil coming on the pod. Listen, my man copped the new Rari, the new Bentley, the new Cullinan, got the Louis V Drizzy drip.
I'm just trying to be like you, brother. That's
Bro,
all.
listen, if you're trying to be like me, look, you got some catching up to do. No, I'm just kidding. No, listen, bro, I really look. You a person who I literally watch, and I'm inspired by just your moves.
Thank you, brother.
So
and
it's
I'm
just
inspired
like,
by you.
I had another guy on here, I had Eichmann on here, right? And we were talking about the fact that we need people to mirror.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
really need people to mirror because a lot of us, we don't have, other than rappers and athletes and stuff like that, we don't have like business individuals and entrepreneurs to mirror. Like we don't have no one to look up to and say, hey, I want to be like him and do what he does. So that's the importance of this podcast. I want to bring and highlight those people so we can get those mirrors out here.
Amen.
So we can see people who look our color, man, we don't really be having it to where, oh man, this dude, he got the new Ferrari, the new one? Custom made? He got it built. He picked those colors. Like, you know what I mean? It's different. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I really want to highlight with this podcast. And you are the literally embodiment of that.
Thank you, brother.
So all right,
Thank
let's
you.
talk about that. So you just got 3 new cars, brother.
Yeah, I did. It was a great year. You know, thanks to you first and foremost. And what I'd really like to say is you paid for it. But you know, thank you.
Hey,
I
listen,
appreciate you.
I already say it. They be like, oh, Mitch, I like your car. I'm like, oh, my customers paid for it. and that's true. So yeah, I got a crib from your program. You took care of me, start to finish. A to Z, it was real smooth. I ain't had to be worried about nothing. I literally was just like sleeping like a baby. After we got it under contract, I was like, oh, good as gold, baby. I'm gonna have me a crib, and you made that easy, bro, so I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. You know what I like to say to a lot of my clients that ultimately end up being my friends like you are, is that the process is as simple and as smooth as you make it. And one of the things I really want to highlight, because I have actually emulated from you and learned from you and picked up from you, is, you know, we were working on a pretty sizable deal, a multi-million-dollar deal. Not everyone that's working on those size of deals is as cool and as collected and as calm as you are. And, you know, that's really a testament to your personality type first and foremost, but it's also a testament to how you do business as well. I mean, because much of our success is predicated and defined on how we think about a process, how we go about it. And I remember there was an impasse in our deal. I mean, we did have a moment where things got a little tense and testy, where you had to make some pretty difficult decisions. And when I say difficult decisions as an entrepreneur, I'm meaning decisions with money on the line.
For sure.
Right? Where there is a potential that you could lose or put at risk your money.
Right.
And that's where that's really what the defining moment of any person or an entrepreneur is what do you do when money is on the line?
Right.
I don't want to talk about what you're doing when we just talking.
Right.
I want to talk about how do you operate and how do you move when money is on the line. And I'll never forget, because there was a substantial amount of money on the table for you.
True.
You could have lost your money. And obviously I didn't want that to happen. And so I had to let you know, hey, Mitch, now is the time you have to make a pretty difficult decision. Do we move forward or do we pause? And I think I told you, we pause. Like, if it's me, I'm not moving forward. And I'll never forget the one thing that you said to me, and I'm going to say it in your voice. I'm going to try to embody you as much as I can. You said, I feel good about it. I feel good about it. And I just remember thinking on the phone, what do you mean you feel good about it? You feel good about it. But when you said that, there was so much confidence behind that statement that it made me feel good that, hey, he feels good about it. I feel good about it. So now, as a result of you, whenever I'm at that kind of impasse with any one of my clients or personally in my life, I always say, I feel good about it. And I move forward.
Right. Yeah, because you know what? I make decisions with my gut.
Yeah.
My gut never lies.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And the numbers can be the numbers. I literally talk about this all the time. I look at the numbers, I'm like, that makes sense. I can make a lot of money. Because when somebody comes to you with a deal, it always looks good and sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you do this, we do that, we're going to make this much money.
Yeah.
We're going to do that. Oh, man, we'll have this people going on board. It's going to go like that.
Mm-hmm.
It always sounds good.
Yeah.
But what does my gut feel like?
Absolutely.
And if my gut feel good, we going.
Yeah.
It don't matter how much money on the table. So I do remember that, and that was, and even when I'm saying it was that easy, even that decision was simple for me.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was a substantial amount that could be lost because, so basically, I mean, the property had to get an estimate done on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was worth more, then I would have to pay that amount in between.
Absolutely.
Or less. I would have to pay out of pocket that amount. So I was just like, get it appraised. I feel good about it.
Yeah.
And it came back appraised at the exact price.
And it did. And you came out a winner. It
yes,
did.
sir. And
yes,
I'm happy.
Sir.
I love my house. So
yeah. I love
thank
it too.
you, bro. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
He is the reason why I have my crib. So, bro, so let's talk about what you do in general, though.
Absolutely.
So if somebody were to come to you, what would be the service that you provide?
So first thing I like to say is what I do is I make dreams come true. I help build wealth. Mm-hmm. And real estate is still, irregardless of cryptocurrency, irregardless of whatever trend may come, may go, real estate is the #1 wealth builder in the world for the simple fact that they're not making anymore.
Absolutely 100% correct.
What you see here today is what will be here tomorrow for your children and your children's children. Mm-hmm. Period, point blank. And the kind of asset that you have, that others of my clients have, this is the kind of asset that builds wealth, it adds to your net worth, and it's something that you can pass down the line as well. So more specifically, you asked what I do. I'm in finance. So I'm the one that obtains the finance for you, or capital, as some would call it, to obtain that real estate.
Right.
Whether it be residential investment or commercial property, commercial real estate. So anything dealing with real estate, I offer financing to obtain, to buy that real estate.
Okay. Yeah. So if one were to be in your shoes and do what you do, where would they start?
Well, where you'd have to start is, and I'll just tell you where I started. I started this journey in college. I was on the other side of the table. I was like you. I was buying real estate. And I was buying a lot of it. When I was a sophomore in college, my game was, because I wasn't cool enough to, be a party promoter, or, back in the day, they would, you'd have promoters that would, promote parties and get paid. But I wasn't that cool. So I figured out, I said, okay, well, what's my game? I said, well, I want to rent units to my fellow students, because there wasn't really anything close to the campus. I went to a small little HBCU school called Fisk University, and there wasn't really many houses around the college. So long story short, I ended up buying real estate in college, renting it out to my fellow students. By the time I graduated, I had about 8 or 9 properties. So I had a little substantial portfolio going on, and kind of continued that for the next 5 to 10 years. But buying real estate, through that process, I was able to learn from bankers that I had worked with, individuals that I had worked with, like you worked with me.
Right.
And I found out that, hey, it seems to me like they've got a much better game going on.
Right.
Because once I buy the real estate, the deal doesn't stop there for
Right.
me. You've got to pay, homeowners associations, taxes, insurance, all that stuff. And I was on a different side of the game. I was renting property, so I got to collect rent, do all that stuff. I said, you know what? I think I have a knack for putting a deal together. Mm-hmm. And that's really what this game is about. It's about putting the puzzle together. Mitch comes to me. I have to find out, and Mitch has to divulge to me a lot of your personal information. Mm-hmm. I mean, information you're not just going to walk around and just tell somebody. Most of the times, if it's a spouse and they're married, most of the times one or the other hasn't told the other one about this or that or something that happened here or there, or, 5, 10 years ago, or whatever it may be.
Right.
But you've got to tell me.
Exactly.
And you've got to have the trust to put into me to know that, whatever you have told me stops with me, but it's going to be used for me to serve you, for me to put the puzzle together, to figure out, okay, this is what Mitch has going on. This is what Mitch is doing. This is what he plans to do. This is how we put this together. And then I can come back to you and say, okay, Mitch, based on what it is that you want to do, I need this, and this from you so that we can get you that. Exactly. And that's really what it is. And being able to do it quickly, and efficiently, and most importantly, being able to, have that end result that you and I had, whereas it's closing day, we're shaking hands, we're smiling, we're exchanging keys. You're happy, I'm happy, we both got what we wanted.
Absolutely.
And that's what I try to pride myself on is if you come to me, no matter how long that process takes. Now, for you, it was an easy process. It took us 2 weeks because I think we had to close in 2 weeks.
We had to close really quickly.
It was fast.
Yeah.
But for some clients, Mitch, that's unusual.
Right.
It could take 30, 60, 90 days in some cases. Like, it's a walk. It's a journey.
Right.
And as long as you have the faith, I'm not going to let you down, God willing, and I'm going to keep on going and see you through to the end.
Absolutely. And you're a hard worker. You're like a one-man machine, too. You're doing a lot of work. But what I want to highlight, so you're basically the point of contact between the funding and the person who wants the actual thing. So you're middlemaning right now, right?
I am a middle. Yeah.
Do you use multiple banks, or do you use one particular bank or one particular source to get your funding?
I use 2 sources.
2 sources only.
2 sources only.
And so the cool thing, this has to do with relationships, right? I'm sure you had to make a relationship with these funding companies,
Absolutely.
or do you have ownership in them?
No, so it's all about relationships. It's all about relationships, and how those relationships are built is the same way that you and I built our relationship, based on trust and mutual respect. Do you do what you say that you're going to do?
That's it.
That's how trust is built. It's as simple as that. Do you do what you say you're going to do? Now, if for some, that's that. I'm going to leave that at that.
That's true. It's the reality.
Yeah.
So it's cool. So I want to go back and talk about these cars that you got, right? Let's talk about. I'm in the car game. Like, I do the rental car game.
Yeah.
And this year I got a Lamborghini Huracan. I got a 2021 Urus. I got the 2019 Bentley Bentayga.
Yeah.
But you got some newer cars in that, right? But when I met Virgil already had a Lambo Aventador, Ferrari. What was that, 488 you had?
488.
He had the 488 and a Wraith is what I know that you had. I'm pretty sure you might have more than that. But like I said, these are friend tours. So when I meet people who are somebody who I want to mirror, I watch their swag. It's not only what they're driving, but it's how they move, how they talk to people. I noticed that when you put "to your success" on every message, when you email someone, that's hard. I ain't gonna lie, I used it at least thrice, like, "to your success, Mitch." Oh, yeah. I got it from my boy Virgil. Yeah. But long story short, I want to know, like, what made you get those cars, and, like, in particular, why do you drive those type of cars?
That's a great question. And what I tell many of my clientele, and I'm so blessed, I'm so thankful, because I do deal with a certain clientele. I do deal primarily 95% with aspirational clients like you, entrepreneurs, athletes, entertainers, those that, step out on faith daily, and say, I feel good about it.
Right.
And there ain't nothing behind them to back them up. It's just, I feel good about it, I got to go.
Right.
So those are my clientele. But more specifically, you asked, why do I drive those cars? Because for me, those cars are business cards.
Absolutely.
That's all they are business cards. And they're one of the best business cards that you can have. Now, fortunately, we're in a great state and city like Atlanta where it works.
Right.
But that works in Miami, that works in New York, that works in LA, that works in San Francisco. And for me, besides the hard work, besides, my God, my creator, that has been a huge blessing for me.
Absolutely.
Is to be able to, one, have those and know what they're about, know
Absolutely.
what they're for. So oftentimes, when I deal with clientele and they, buy their home, they always come back to me and say, okay, Virgil, how do I get that Rolls Royce that I want? But most importantly, Mitch, it's so funny. They always ask me, and they're very successful.
Right.
You're successful. They're very successful. They always ask me because they're nervous. They're like, well, what will my clients think if I get a Rolls Royce?
Absolutely.
And I say to them, are you successful? Well, I think so. Well, I can tell you are, looking at the paperwork that you've given me, looking at everything that I've done on my due diligence, and I'm pretty thorough.
Right.
I'm looking at bank accounts. I'm looking at where you got the money hidden.
He looked at all the bank
I'm looking
accounts.
at the credit. I'm looking at all of that stuff. And on paper, one, you can afford it, but two, it's a mentality. If that's what you want, why not get what you want?
Exactly.
Right? My dad always told me, not to cut you off, my dad always told me, he said, son, that's why they make these cars. That's why they make these homes. That's why they make these boats and airplanes, so that you can buy them.
Absolutely.
Period.
Always go back to what you said, mentality.
Mentality.
The mentality behind an entrepreneur or behind people who are successful is always going to be that of people who want to pursue something, those who can see something bigger than where they are. The mindset has to be, though, that we can have them.
Absolutely.
We can have this. The reason why they're nervous is because they be like, am I supposed to have this?
That's true. That's what
you dig what I mean?
Yeah, that's what
but
it is.
I mean, to your point, you're very successful, and I feel like it comes to like the real definition of humble. That's a lot of it too. So a lot of people use humble in the wrong context, because humbleness is making less of yourself for basically other people. But really, I don't want to think less of myself. If I'm a person who I feel like is a hard worker, who's successful, and I want to get exactly what I want, because you'll see that people who are financially free or successful, or been able to achieve success over and over again, they do what they want.
That's true.
And then most people do what they can. So doing what you can means that I cannot get that Lambo, so I have to get this. I can't get that mansion, so I have to get this.
Yeah.
So me in particular, if I'm in a position to do what I want, I'm going to do that. And then also the business card aspect is the biggest bar ever, because a lot of people don't understand that you get a lot more opportunities just by driving that. You shake a lot more hands, getting a lot more doors just by driving it. But the reason, like you said, you're blessed, you're super successful and stuff like that, is because these 3 pillars that I got in here. I always bring these back up, because it doesn't matter the industry. It doesn't matter the business. It doesn't matter the car.
That's right.
You got to have the hustle, the execution, the grind. And that's what we can't teach.
That's right.
We can't teach it. I literally spend half of my day convincing people to believe in themselves. And then I have them to get the confidence that comes with this stuff. So you got to be confident in the fact that what you're going to do is going to work. It's not, it's like, am I going to be successful? Yes or yes.
Yeah.
It's no.
Yeah.
You feel
Yes
me?
or yes.
So a lot of people don't get that, but when I look at you, I feel like this dude, he is doing what he's supposed to do, and people need you. Like, if you didn't get the cars, if you didn't rock the Louis V, the Rolexes, a lot of people wouldn't even want to understand what you do or want to move how you move or think that they could.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, Virgil is necessary for us, even in this room right here. For all of us in this room, we need people like you. So I got to give you your flowers, bro. I really appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you. I'm humbled by that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and I love the way, like, you have an opportunity to be an asshole. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have an opportunity to be an asshole. Like, you could really be an asshole, but you're not. And then another thing I took from you was, thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because you did give me an opportunity to serve you. You could have used anywhere else. You could have went to Wells Fargo, SunTrust, Bank of America. You could have went to anyone else, but you put your trust, you put your hope, and you, most importantly, you put your faith in me. That takes a lot to give somebody everything, that is near and dear to you, which is mostly our finances. Those are our lives in a lot of ways,
Okay.
And it takes a lot of trust to do that. And I want to be respectful of that trust that you and all of my other clients have put into me. And I want to be respectful of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how important is referrals in your industry?
Oh, it's huge. That's all of my business. I don't do any advertising. All of my business is referral, word of mouth.
So that means you have to be very, very good at what you do.
I believe you do.
And you have to have what's called testimonials. So that's going to be your in-person word of mouth going around.
Yeah.
That's so dope. And like I said, you post every now and again, give me some inspiration. You be in, where was you at? Thailand?
Thailand, yeah.
You was in Thailand.
Yeah.
I see you just living the life, doing your thing. So you don't really post that much. So that means that social media isn't a big thing on your business either, is it?
It's not, but it's necessary.
Yeah,
it's
but if you were to be serious about social media, you think that your business would double?
It would, but it goes back to what you said earlier. I am a one-man team.
Absolutely.
I like that boutique type of service that I'm able to give to my clientele, because I turn down more business than I accept.
I can believe that.
Because it's important for me to respect the client that I'm taking on and to give them the time and the energy that they need. And that's one thing that I admire about you, and I've told you this before. The blessing that you've been given, the seed that's been planted in you, is for you. I couldn't do that. I mean, the energy that you give and the wisdom that you have and the knowledge and the perspective, that's unique to you. That's your blessing. You see what I'm saying? That's your talent. And in the same regard, I know my talent. You know, some have tried to encourage me, well, Virgil, why don't you build a bigger company and hire employees and do all that stuff? And I like to say to them, you know, I did that before.
Right.
And I didn't like it. You know, I didn't like that. I've had employees, you know, 50 or 60 in multiple locations, and that's a lot.
Right.
For me.
For sure.
For me, it is.
For sure.
I prefer right now, for where my life is, 43-year-old man, male, you know, I prefer the more boutique aspect, hands-on service, so that way we can make sure that you have a pleasant experience and you get what you want. You get what you came to me for.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's what they get. So if I had to refer you, I'll be confident in a referral because I know that they're going to be dealing with you. They're not going to deal with you but this guy, you but that girl. It won't be that. It'll be you.
You're dealing with
me. And you're going to handle it, and you do what you say you're going to do. Even if it's a day after, you handle it.
We're going to get it done.
It's going to get done.
Yeah.
And I admire that about you. So this portion of the podcast, I like to always make me some money.
Right.
How can you help me make some money in 2022? What can you give me some advice on?
What I would say is continue to buy real estate. Get into the investment side of real estate.
Okay.
You know, like you have definitely taken over the game as far as rentals, high-end luxury rentals, all of that good stuff. Like you've killed the game. I think there's another level that you can go to. You can, not another level, but you can take that same skill set and apply it to rental property.
Wow.
And now you've got mailbox money coming in every month because your renters are going to pay your mortgage, and then you'll have some left over as well. And then in 15 years, you know, once you pay off the bank, you've got, you know, a free and clear property that you can take and sell and, you know, move abroad or do whatever you want to do, or just continue to rent it out and make mailbox money.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, in your industry, did you have to have a degree to get where you are today?
No, you don't need a degree. All you need is just a clean background check. You know, you have to be licensed by each state that you're licensed in.
Licensed to do what?
Licensed to be a lender. Licensed to be a mortgage broker. So they kind of fall under the same kind of parameters there, I guess you'd say. So that's the only thing you need to do. You need to take a test to do that. So you got to study for that. It's a pretty onerous test, but it's, you know, as long as you apply yourself, as long as you sit down, you study, you have no problem passing it. And then typically what I try to encourage other, you know, individuals that are interested in this, you know, kind of industry, you know, oftentimes they reach out to me. Obviously, they would like me to hire them. And that's another level. You know, you just asked me, well, show me how I can make some money. Well, another level for me to make some money is, you know,
to do that.
I need to start.
You don't do mentorship?
No, I'm working on a way to do that right now.
I can help you with that.
And you can, and you will. And I'm going to actually reach out to you.
I can help you with that, to where it's not tedious to you.
That's
you know, that's the key. A lot of people don't know how to start a mentorship because you're going to think that you got to spend a lot of time with people, but really you can set it up where it's convenient to them because they have their own lives.
Gotcha.
A lot of people are working, making money as well, so they really only can get with you like once a week. They could do more, but it really wouldn't help them. It actually would hurt them. So you can do it in a group setting, never do one-on-ones.
Okay.
Meaning, so everybody who you take into your mentorship program, they all meet on once a week. Y'all tap in for an hour and a half maybe, and you do it for a set amount of time, 6 weeks straight, 8 weeks straight. And then basically, even before they talk to you first, they must fill out these modules of things that you need them to already know before they talk to you. Because therefore it's pointless. They're going to be there just asking you a random
questions. Yeah.
So you want us to have a guideline for them to go to. That'd be the easiest way to set up your mentorship right there.
Thank you. That's the blessing I need.
Seriously. So if you need any help, you already know I'm at your disposal at any time. You got me. Help me out with a key thing in my life. It really does. That house is also a business card too.
I know it is.
Yeah, they come up to me, ask me what I do almost every day.
Yeah.
If I pull up to the house, they be like, I see the cars, I see the clothes, what do you do? I'm like, well, you know, entrepreneur. So it's a dope feeling because, you know, that's a great neighborhood. It's not a dominantly black neighborhood. So they don't know that, but I live in a very quiet, nice neighborhood. And the people, they don't see pretty people like me over there. So it's very cool. And you gave me that opportunity, bro.
Well, thank you. And I just wanted to just piggyback on one thing that you said. And the reason why I really got in this is because I wanted to help those that look like you and I acquire real estate, acquire property, because a lot of people don't understand that was really, irregardless of slavery, irregardless of our past, but that was one of those areas in our maturation in this country that we were deprived of.
For sure.
Was wealth through real estate. And a lot of people don't know that that's the reason why, in the 1960s, the Fair Housing Act was passed, so that we could buy property where we wanted to buy it.
Right. That's
You
the
see
key.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I mean, before we were limited to certain neighborhoods, where we could go, where we could buy. But, in some of that discrimination still exists today. And I'm glad that I'm on the front line. That's kind of my call to duty.
For sure.
To say that, no, Mitch can afford it.
Absolutely.
Here's his pre-approval, and we can close in 2 weeks.
And we did it.
And we did it.
Yo.
You see what I'm saying? But a lot of that skepticism comes from, oh, he's young or she's young, or, how can they do that? And, a lot of my clients, they don't hear these stories. They don't hear
That's you handling all of that.
They don't hear the seller talking to me.
Right.
They don't hear the other real estate agent talking to me. Well, how can she afford to do that? How can he afford to do that?
Right.
Because they're judging.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They're judging. So it kind of goes back to what you said about these business cards. In a lot of instances, being entrepreneurs, we have to have it.
For sure.
Sometimes just to get in the door.
Absolutely. For
You see what I'm
for
saying?
notoriety, for even our own people.
For our own people and for others, just
Right.
to get in the door. I can't it was funny, Mitch. I was stopped a couple weeks ago by a Georgia State trooper. And great guy, he was very, nice guy, and he pulled up on me and he said, "Man, that's a nice car. What do you do?" And I told him, I said, "Yeah, I'm in finance. Here's my business card if I can ever do anything to help you." Well, he called me 2 weeks later, and we closed on him and his wife's first property. Turns out he was a veteran, and he used his VA loan, and we closed a couple months ago.
Wow.
Needless to say, I didn't get a ticket, but you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what it's about,
Yeah,
man.
that's what it's about.
It's crazy, man. I want to appreciate you for coming on the show. I think the value that you gave is going to stand out, because if y'all haven't followed, so what's your Instagram handle? Is Virgil?
CEO.Verge.
CEO.Verge. Make sure y'all follow. I'm gonna tag it below on the actual podcast episode, and I want y'all to be able to see what I mean, like by mentor, friend-tor. Everybody thinks that you have to pay for mentorship to get mentored by people, but if you really pay attention, you can actually watch what they're doing.
Amen.
Watch the consistency. Yeah. Watch how many. I can see how many times you close, because you post when you close.
I do.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of closings I don't.
Right.
But I try to post those that I feel others will take inspiration from.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And all of my clients are equally important.
Right.
But, posting you closing
Right.
speaks volumes to a lot of other, young entrepreneurs out there.
Right.
That, hey, this can be me. I can do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I try to do.
Yeah, because it's important. But back into the mentorship piece, it's like I can watch how you moving. I can see your consistency. If somebody calls you, I can see if it's you picking up the phone, or you have a assistant that picks up the phone. I can be like, okay, cool. Virgil's making this amount of money. He has an assistant who answers his phone every time. Okay, cool. He's doing this on every single email. Okay, cool. He refers someone to, every time he takes a person, he's going to set them up for a closing or whatever. He refers maybe a realtor. He refers the insurance. Okay, cool. I need to have referrals that I can go to, that we can share money every single time. Like, these are things I can watch without actually being a mentee of yours. So people think that it has to be traditional way, but sometimes we literally have these mentors and these motivators right in front of us that we can utilize and put into and implement into our own lives and business. So that's what I try to do. And I want you to just keep doing your thing. You can post more, post a little bit more.
I'm gonna do it.
And show them when you show them. Just look, and we talked about this, like as far as like when you start getting to different levels in your life, and you kind of can forget how it was before. So like we thinking like I gotta get out a private jet, get into a Lambo, go to a mansion for an advertisement. But really, we don't know that a Lambo itself is an accomplishment. The house is an accomplishment by itself.
By itself.
So we can just literally get into the car and cut it on. That's an advertisement for most people.
Absolutely.
It's not like we advertising to Elon Musk or nothing like that. So it's like we advertise to people who want to get to where we are.
Absolutely.
So if I want to do that, I can keep it simple and then show them what time it is. So cut that new Ferrari on.
I'm gonna do it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna post more.
Yeah, post a little bit more just for me. If not for nobody else, like Mitch is watching, so I'm gonna post some more.
No, I'm gonna do it.
But,
and I am so honored and so humbled to be here with you. Thank you for the opportunity. I value your friendship. Thank you for the words of encouragement that you've given me just in this podcast, to know that I can count on you to help me, do the mentorship program. I wanted to do it in the right way, and I actually we'll talk about that off camera though.
Okay, yeah. So y'all better be on the lookout. If y'all don't follow his gram, you won't even be able to know about the new mentorship.
It's coming.
So once it comes, I'm telling y'all, listen, y'all gonna see when y'all follow the gram, but he's humbly posting. Yeah, does that make sense? He is making less of himself on his Instagram. So don't let that go over your head. But Virgil, again, thank you. I'm gonna end the episode. Everybody tap in on the next episode. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the vibe. No fluff, man. We out of here. You dig?
All these whips, I feel like me.